The chandeliers glittered above the ballroom like constellations, each crystal shard scattering light across silk gowns and tailored tuxedos. Waiters glided between the wealthy guests, balancing trays of champagne flutes that sparkled as if filled with liquid gold. At the very center of this dazzling universe stood Isabella Hart, a woman everyone knew by name, even if they had never met her. Billionaire magazines had called her the queen of reinvention, the goddess of luxury, the face of modern wealth. Tonight, she was hosting a charity gala for children's hospitals, a noble cause, though her rivals whispered she was here more for the cameras than for the children. Isabella didn't care what they whispered. She loved attention almost as much as she loved winning. With her crimson silk gown trailing behind her and a diamond necklace worth more than most houses resting at her collarbone, she looked every bit the untouchable figure people imagined her to be. Ms. Hart, a young entrepreneur stammered, reaching out for a handshake. Your story is so inspiring. You turned a small fashion startup into a billion-dollar empire. You're my hero. Isabella smiled the way she had practiced for years, warm enough to be memorable, cool enough to remind them of her distance. Keep working hard, she said. And maybe one day you'll be the one people are quoting at galas like this. He blushed, nodded furiously, and hurried away. Isabella sipped her champagne, satisfied. Nights like these were her stage. She performed effortlessly. But even goddesses have human needs. Half an hour later, as the string quartet played a delicate waltz and photographers circled like vultures, Isabella felt an urgent pressure in her stomach. She tried to ignore it. She smiled at the mayor, nodded at a banker, pretended to enjoy a joke told by a Hollywood actress. Yet the pressure grew sharper, impossible to dismiss. Excuse me, she murmured, gliding away from the crowd. She passed through gilded doors, her heels tapping against the marble, and hurried down a hallway lined with framed oil paintings. She barely glanced at the signs. Her mind was too clouded by champagne, exhaustion, and the need for relief. She pushed through the nearest door marked with faded letters and sighed in triumph, finally, a restroom. It was only when she stepped inside that she noticed something odd. The lighting was dim, buzzing faintly like tired insects. Instead of scented candles and roses, the room smelled faintly of bleach. The floor tiles were cracked, and one of the sinks dripped endlessly, echoing like a ticking clock. This wasn't the guest bathroom. But Isabella was desperate. With a muttered, "Well, it will do," she swept into a stall, closed the door, and finally let herself breathe. When she reached for toilet paper, her manicured hand met empty air. She blinked, reached further. Nothing. She looked to the side, only a cardboard roll. Her heart skipped. There was no toilet paper.